Okay, guys, you give Philly credit. They did a great job, being able to make enough plays. They possessed the football. They were really efficient on third downs. I thought we came out ready to go, and I thought we had a good momentum. I liked the way that we were able to establish. We didn't have many opportunities offensively, but I did like the fact that, we were able to get, 2 positive drives. We had a drop ball on the third possession we had in the first half on our second one overall that ended up kind of taking us off the grass. But I thought they did a good job of being able to convert towards the end of the first half. The margin for error was really small, and you give them credit. Coach Sirianni and in that group, they do an excellent job, and I love the way that this group continues to be able to respond. We got to play better complementary football, and that's one of the things that I thought was really reflected, whether it was in the first half or even in the second half. I thought a Killer Witherspoon's interception, where it's still a one-possession game. We've got to figure out how to go turn that into points, and there's opportunities that I know we're capable of making, and then we've just got to be able to string it together. It's one thing to say we got to be able to do it, but I believe that this team is capable of making those plays. I know they're capable of making those plays. I'm excited about going back to work with these guys and figuring out how we can continue to demonstrate the resilience, the response that's in alignment with what we want. There's a lot of learning opportunities, and that's going to be consistent with any team, but I think especially a lot of guys that are going through things for the first time. I'm not making excuses at all because we expect to accelerate, our progression, and I believe in this group, but, disappointed with the inability to be able to play off of one another, but we're going to come back, we're going to look at this film, we're going to figure out where we can be better, and we're going to respond, and I can promise you that. You guys go ahead.
You guys have been pretty productive in your opening drives and even in opening halves and then second halves. It seems like there's been some repeated stalls. What is the issue there, and how do you fix it?
Every single play has a little bit different narrative, Jordan. Sometimes it might be the protection. We might end up just missing an opportunity to be able to connect. It might be a bad play call, and so there's not one consistent thing. We were fortunate to overcome, where we even got the first down when we were backed up after we got the illegal lineman downfield, ineligible players downfield on the screen, and then we ended up just kind of running it on the 3rd and long. We got the face mask on. I think it was a 3rd and 27, but end up hitting explosive to Puka, and it's just being able to kind of just continue to capitalize off of that. But the margin for error and the opportunities were very limited today. So there's a lot of, there's not one answer. I can promise you that.
Well, Philadelphia is known for being really good at stopping the run this season. How did you feel about the balance of the offense?
Yeah, I felt good about it. I thought we were getting off looks that we wanted. There was a lot. I just think the margin for error was really small. I mean, I'm going to look at myself first and foremost on everything that we do and say, all right, decision-wise and all that kind of stuff. But we were getting a lot of the things that we had anticipated. I'm always going to do a good job of figuring out, all right, what are the things, and we as a staff, all right, what are the things that put our guys in the best situations. We just didn't have a whole lot of plays in general when you look at it, and that margin for error when you're not getting on, you're not converting on some of those third downs, and then they're able to sustain some drives, ended up, just being really tight for us. I thought there were some good runs, and then I thought there were some looks where, we had really good looks to be able to throw the football too, and we made some plays, and then we missed on some opportunities that I don't think we'll miss on as we move forward.
How hard was it to try and get the momentum back after you scored the touchdown at the end of the half, but 32 seconds, they end up, because of penalties, going and scoring?
Yeah, that was tough. That was tough, and those will be things that we've got to be able to look at, and it was almost identical to the way that things played out against the 49ers. I mean, it was in some instances deja vu, but, we got to figure out, all right, how can we be better in some of those situations? And then, like I said, you got to play 4 quarters, so no matter what the heck happened in the first half, it's, all right, well, how do we figure out how to sustain a drive, score points offensively when we get the ball coming out in the second half? How do we play off one another? I mean, you look at it, in the third, you see a play by a Killer Witherspoon when they're going in to take it as a potential 2-possession lead. He makes a big-time pick. It's a 6-point game at that time, and we had some chances, and I'm excited about figuring out how the hell we get some of this stuff fixed, and I'm not sitting up in here having to rationalize all the stuff that goes on throughout the course of a game, because I know we can get this stuff done.
Because it's been similar situations, do you anticipate changes coming in that regard?
No, absolutely not. We need to figure out how we play better, how we coach better. It starts with myself. I'm going to look first and foremost inward, and then a lot of these situations are, you give the enemy has a say, Jordan. You give them credit. But I think some of the execution, and that's why football is the greatest team sport that there is. It's not just on one position. It's a combination, and how do we, all 11, put it together consistently? Do I expect perfection? No, I don't expect perfection, but more consistent execution, I think we're capable of that, and I'm looking forward to having that, be shown on our film and the way that we're able to play as we move forward. But we're 5 weeks into this season. There's a lot of football left, and I'm excited about attacking this with this team.
What did you take away from Cooper's first game back?
I thought he did a nice job. I thought he made some critical plays, especially on that first drive where Matthew did an excellent job of being able to get him involved, makes his impact, and I think it'll be a good opportunity for us to be able to continuously figure out how do we utilize the whole personnel, not exclusive to Cooper, but also, you see Puka, you see Tutu, Higbee, our backs, things like that. And so those will be things that we'll look at. But like I mentioned, there was some few opportunities, and there were some ones that I know we can make, and I believe that we will moving forward. But that margin for error against a great team like that is too small to overcome, and we weren't able to do that today.
Sean, the couple of times that Cooper was open, and it seemed like he's looking over one shoulder and it's going to the other. Was that him and Matthew's timing from the first?
Yeah, there was a couple man coverage opportunities, and it's just, what type of angle of departure are you taking as you set that out based on where you see the DB's leverage, and those are plays that I believe that we'll hit, and those are looks that we're looking for in a lot of those situations. There were some other players that I thought, missed on some opportunities and just some little details. And these are things that I've seen these guys make these plays consistently, not exclusive to the two that you're asking about, but some other guys as well. And if you expect to play at the level that we want to go, try to get the results that you're hunting up against excellent football teams like Philadelphia, you got to be able to make those, and that's what you love about the NFL. There's great challenges every week, and we'll have one next week as well.
Going back to that first half and talking about you being able to reacclimate Cooper Kupp and still not abandoning Puka Nacua, what are you most kind of excited about? Because you said that this team can kind of get it done going forward, that you can take away from this.
Yeah, I think when you look at it, you have 3 drives in the first half. You have a 14-play opening touchdown drive. You have a 6-play drive on your second one where you end up having a drop on a third down where it's a situation where a guy's made a lot of plays for us that doesn't end up bringing that in. And then you end up scoring where he comes back, he responds, and that's your 3 possessions, and that's it. And so, they do it. They're going to slow the game down. They do a great job of being able to sustain possession. That's why they're at the upper echelon of the league when they've been able to win these games. And that's why even in the second half, those opportunities when you get those possessions are just so important, because you might punt the ball away and it might be 7 or 8 minutes until you get the ball back, and then you're looking up and you're saying, I can't believe it's already the fourth quarter. And so that was kind of what it felt like today.
Quick two-part question. Rob Havenstein, do you have an update on him?
I think he's going to be okay. He was just they ended up stopping the game because I think he's going to be okay, but I don't have the update. And with Bobby Brown, it didn't look good with his knee, but I don't have any updates on those guys.
And then so Warren has to come in obviously for that play, and then the fourth and long.
Yeah.
And what did you see them do in terms?
I saw us not do a good job at chipping. We had a chip on that right there. We accelerated Reddick into a rush, and that was really poor execution on our part. And those are the things that make me very upset.
This is the second time this season that DK's had back-to-back plays at the end of a half to back-to-back penalties.
Yeah, I think we'll look at it. I got to see that again. I don't know if I quite saw it the same way. We want to coach these guys to be able to play within the techniques and the fundamentals. Sometimes you're in some tough positions. You give him credit. That's a great player that he's matching up against right there. And we'll look at, all right, how do we help him? How do we continue to give him clarity on the techniques? But you also got to be able to shoot your shot and go compete. So before it was on the far sideline. I didn't get a clear vantage point of it, but we'll look at it and we'll make sure that we keep communicating. But I like the way that guy competes. Okay? Thanks, guys.
Coach.
so strong productively in the first half, and then some issues keep popping up, sustaining drives third and fourth quarters.
Yeah, I mean, it's just execution. I mean, that's what it boils down to, right? Had some opportunities to keep some drives alive, missed some shots. Just weren't able to hit some of the shots that we had available. So just got to continue to do everything we can to try to execute in those moments. Play a little bit better complementary football. Our guys got a turnover on defense. We weren't able to go down and score with it. Just too many opportunities where we weren't helping each other out as a team, and you just don't really build a whole lot of momentum at that point. And it feels, like each drive is just ultra crucial when you just need to go play the game as best you can.
Was your first game back with Cooper, what did that, did that feel like it always did? Or?
It was great. I thought he played really well. I'm proud of him, happy for him that he's out there because I know that's what he loves to do is be out there playing and competing. Had some decent success early on. A couple of plays here or there went back, as the game went on. But loved having him back out on the field. I think everybody did.
Were you inhibited at all by your hip or
No.
anything? No problem.
That's just as slow as I normally am.
There are a couple plays where when they did hit you or took you down that they seemed to add a little extra English to it. Is that just the game or was that bothering you?
I guess, I don't know. No, it wouldn't bother me. I'll go look at it, I guess. But no penalties, so I guess it wasn't egregious.
Cooper was so productive in the first half. In the second half, there were a couple times where we're just not used to seeing if he's looking right shoulder and it went left or the other way around.
Yeah.
Is that the byproduct of not being in game action for
No, I don't think so. I think some of those plays are just I'm cutting the ball loose at a certain time. I'm thinking he's doing one thing, and nobody's right or wrong. It's just not on the same page, and that's part of football. It's not going to be perfect all the time. In the same similar type route, he's got Slay on him, he nods him, and we put it in a great spot and connect, and that's the game of football. They're playing sticky coverage. I got to try to put it in as good a spot as I can, and just appreciate those guys running and doing everything they do on the outside. I can be better.
Certainly respect win as a team, lose as a team, but it's twice this year where you guys take a lead right before half, and all of a sudden you're not leading. Is that tough to overcome? That's
complementary football. That's kind of what we're talking about. And then in the same respect, our defense goes on and gets the turnover. Akella makes a great pick and on a tough drive, a long drive, and shoot gives us life, and we don't go score. So, there are just opportunities for both sides of the ball, to just grab the momentum and kind of run with it. And, we weren't able to do it. We played a really good football team today. Knew we were going to be kind of limited possession-wise, and we just need to be a little bit more productive on the possessions we did get.
Are you seeing defenders do things any differently to try to disrupt certain guys' timing, especially when you guys are getting those sort of stacked motions and stuff like that?
Each team kind of has their different flavor, and it probably depends for them on who that player is with the motion. Today it felt pretty standard, like what you would expect a team to do, but I got to go back and look at it. A lot of times when that is happening, I'm catching the snap and not seeing exactly what's going on over there, so I'll let you know after I peek at it.
Sean was talking about missed opportunities. He was very emphatic about the fact that he believed you guys were close. Did it feel like that?
Yeah, definitely. It was a one-possession game for the majority of the second half, really the whole game until the very end. So that's what NFL football is about. You got to try to make the plays to make that one-possession game become in your favor, and we weren't able to do it. Obviously, on the offensive side of the ball, it starts with me. I can be better. Hit guys in better spots and give our guys chances to go make plays. So first half was productive, second half less so.
He was pretty emphatic in here, even hit the lectern talking about fixable execution issues, things like that. Do you feel like you guys are on the cusp, like real close to putting that complete complementary, like you're saying, game together?
Yeah, I think you see it in spurts, right? And it's just, can you go out there and do it for the full game? And I don't know if you're going to do it on every single drive, but can the standard be, a little bit better, and just go out there and execute at a higher level? I know we're doing everything we can, putting the work in, continue to work. Trust that work that we do put into it on a weekly basis. Go out there and trust yourself on game day. It's never going to be perfect. Football's played in the gray. There's going to be, defense has a say in it too. And but just go out there, do everything you can to be fundamentally sound. Go out there and execute. And let the chips kind of fall where they may at that point.
All set. Thanks, man.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.